This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
Tonight, prosecutors are reviewing a deadly shooting case in the Central West End. St. Louis police say a man killed an intruder who broke into his building. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. The deadly shooting happened early this morning at a Masonic Lodge in the 5000 block of Westminster Place. Residents, including the shooter, live upstairs. Justina Coronel joins us live with more details. Justina?
Mike and Kelly, this all happened before 4 o'clock this morning. That's when police say a man in his 40s broke into this building behind me here. Now, a little bit more about this building. We've learned it's a Masonic lodge called the Tuscan Lodge number 360. Police say that people live above the meeting place. Now, according to police, a 37-year-old man woke up to the building's burglary alarm. He armed himself and searched the residence when an intruder confronted him. Police say that's when he fired shots, hitting and killing the intruder. We're told the resident called police and cooperated with the investigation. Now, I asked police if the intruder was armed or not, but they say they didn't have that information yet. Today, I spoke to St. Louis University law professor Anders Walker, who explained Missouri has one of the most expansive castle doctrines.
The castle doctrine protects homeowners from intruders. If someone breaks into your home and you have a reasonable fear you're going to get hurt, you can use lethal force.
And we did reach out to the organization, but we have not heard back yet. We're told police will hand over this case to the circuit attorney, and from there, they'll decide what's next. Reporting in the Central West End, Justina Coronel, 5 on your side.
A man shot by police in Berkeley is charged after a carjacking and chase. Yesterday, police tried to pull over the stolen car, but the driver didn't stop. Police eventually used spike strips, and 3 people jumped out. Police say 21-year-old Larry Lucas ran off with a gun. 3 detectives fired, shooting him in the leg. All 3 are on administrative leave. Lucas faces several charges, including robbery and resisting arrest. A 15-year-old and 23-year-old were also arrested.
Several teens and 2 adults are in custody after one of them fired a shot while running from police. This was last night on Ferris Avenue in North City. Police got a call from more than a dozen people outside a home with guns. When officers got to the scene, the group ran off. Officers say they ran after them, and one of the suspects fired a shot. That's from police. No officers were hurt. One suspect has minor injuries. 2 adults, a 17-year-old, 16-year-old, and 2 13-year-olds were arrested.
Right now, police are searching for a driver involved in a St. Louis County road rage shooting. Happened just before 1 today on northbound I-270 near St. Charles Rock Road in Bridgeton. Police say 2 drivers got into an argument. A driver in a white SUV fired shots, hitting the other driver. The victim was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. If you have any information, you're asked to call Bridgeton Police.
Right now, there's a massive sinkhole in South St. Louis. This is near the intersection of Blow Street and Idaho Avenue. Thankfully, people who live in the city's Carondelet neighborhood caught up before anyone got hurt.
5 on your side's Tracy Hinson is live at the scene. What do things look like now, Tracy?
Well, it's still big. It's huge. It's actually grown from when we were here earlier this morning, and it's about 40 feet wide and 25 feet deep. The workers behind me, that's St. Louis City Water, and they're backfilling a few of the spots they had to access those water mains at. Now, the main hole, I think that will take much more time. Now, a spokesperson for the city says crews first responded to a 6-inch water main break at the intersection on Tuesday. Overnight, they say the water main break turned into that huge sinkhole. Spire secured the gas line and says no one is without service. Meanwhile, St. Louis City water crews spent the day digging up pavement and putting in new pipe. They are investigating the cause of the sinkhole. The Metropolitan Sewer District was also on site to see if their pipe was damaged or if it was the cause of the sinkhole.
This area has very old infrastructure, and unfortunately sometimes things break. Whether it was the sewer that first had a collapse and then the water main broke, or the water main that caused the sewer main to break, this is all old infrastructure, and unfortunately this is something that can happen.
Now, I did just get an update from Bess. She says the MSD robot that went down could not find any breaks or areas where their pipe was damaged. So that is good. That means that they should be able to clean this up a little bit faster because this falls on St. Louis City Water. However, MSD will still be back tomorrow because they want to inspect the pipe that runs underneath the highway here. So Still some more inspections to go, and they'll see if there's any work to be done there. But as far as the sinkhole goes, that's actually some pretty good news that the MSD pipes were not damaged. In the Carondelet neighborhood of the city of St. Louis, Tracy Hinson, 5 on your side.
A man is charged following a deadly hit and run in South St. Louis County. Police say Edvin Dragonovich hit and killed William Starr on McKenzie Road Monday. Police say he was speeding and passing another car when he hit Starr, who was crossing the road. Witnesses helped police find him and his damaged truck. Dragonovich is charged with leaving the scene and driving with a revoked or suspended license.
Tonight, a woman is charged with hitting and killing a pedestrian in North St. Louis County. Police say the woman was hit and killed last night on Halls Ferry Road near Lucas and Hunt. The driver took off but later returned to the scene. Alexandria Coleman is charged with leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death and driving with a revoked or suspended license. This is the 4th pedestrian who has been hit and killed in St. Louis County just this month.
There's a push in St. Louis to boot cars that are involved in reckless driving. That's according to our partners at the St. Louis Business Journal. Now, the bill comes from St. Louis Alderwoman Kara Spencer. She says right now police can pull over drivers and give them a ticket, but eventually they're let go. If the bill passes, police can boot the vehicle with probable cause. To get the boot removed, the driver would have to pay a bond, which would be applied to their court costs. Alderwoman Spencer plans to file the legislation on Friday.
Today, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker gave his State of the State address.
And our political editor, Mark Maxwell, was there. He has details tonight from Springfield.
Governor J.B. Pritzker included a heavy dose of election year politics in this, his 6th State of the State address. And you could see him sharpen his elbows as he threw political attacks at Texas Governor Greg Abbott. He accused him of holding the nation hostage when he sends migrants from Texas to other places like Chicago. Pritzker also compared President Trump's rhetoric on building a wall to something that was said at a Ku Klux Klan rally 100 years ago by the governor of Georgia at the time. Republicans booed, you could hear some of that, but it all built into this largest swell, the grand finale, you might call it, of Pritzker's speech, focusing on that big issue important to voters in this presidential election year, immigration.
States and cities in the country's interior are not equipped alone to handle the rapid influx of new arrivals that we have seen. The White House and the federal government need to step up to coordinate and manage these asylum seekers when they cross the border.
Pritzker also promised to permanently eliminate the grocery tax, something he was reluctant to do in years past, and he challenged the health insurance industry. He said he'd put his back to the wheel to come after them and make sure they actually deliver on their promises to patients trying to find their way in to see a doctor. A lot more tonight at 6. Reporting in Springfield, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
Federal investigators are looking into a cyber attack on the Francis House School District. Today, the school said malware was used to encrypt some systems. Students and staff were remote in the past 2 days as a safety precaution. Students will return in person tomorrow. Investigators are trying to figure out where the attack came from and whether any information was compromised. Some internet and phone services are down in the meantime.